This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
May piep, 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 wer hat's alle lieb?
What does the PPP wer haben's alle lieb Old Lang Syne mashup actually mean?
Great question. You ask an excellent question.
They're attractive.
They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
Welcome back to the second week in a row where we start off about Auld Lang Syne. Welcome back to week 2. Every week in 2025, we'll be starting the podcast with a joke about Auld Lang Syne, and that is a very exciting venture for all of us here. We're all excited. This is, of course, Auld Lang Syne series of Young Hawkeyes.
I'll bring a new Byrne's poem next week. I don't know any of them. We should have a John away of Bourne's night. We should have a Joyce night.
We should have a Joyce night. We all
Just read a few poems about farts.
Yeah, and we all have a drink. We all just relax and go to that chemist.
What chemist?
You know that chemist?
Sweeney's, but it's spelt Swenny's.
Yes.
And then you get soap.
He buys soap there.
Great.
Leopold Bloom.
Oh yeah.
In the book Ulysses.
Sorry, I'm not a bowler hat wearing American, so I
You
don't know anything. You
brought up Joyce.
Tony really brought it up.
I don't know anything about
what
him.
happened was
that's lucky you don't know anything about him, because we do have someone here to tell us all about him. Joining us on the couch later on today, Senator David Norris will be joining us to talk all about James Joyce.
Scrotum tightening, see? It was, of course, it was really good. This scrotum tightening, see? Piss warm. It's faint taste of piss in the kidneys. Did you get the back there?
Peas and vinegar.
That's really good.
I was on the television with David Norris, Ireland's first gay man. They call him in many ways.
When was the first gay in Ireland?
He invented it.
The first gay man obviously was many millions of years ago, but he was like a big... Anyway, I was on telly with him and he's very old.
1970.
And he was... I set up jokes and he... lobbed them back. He was like on it. Yeah.
Just
I was
the
complaining
wit
about
of the gaze.
I was complaining about my hair loss, and I said, "Can you bring that up in the Shannon, please?" He was still at Senate at the time, and he said, "Oh, point of urgency" or something like that. yeah. So,
that's great. That's very strong.
He's brilliant. I mean, a very funny man.
Well, problematic in many ways too, but that's life. That's what life is like.
Life is problematic.
A long time in public service, if you could call the Shannon public service, questionable. Where's that reform? Am I right?
So that's my New Year's resolution as well, is to know what you're talking about. That kind of thing. I'm going to read the news. I've decided I'm going to get
a
digital
couple of years
Times.
ago, there was a referendum. They're like, do you want to abolish the Shannon? And everyone was like, no, fix it up. Like, that's what we meant when we said no. But they've done nothing at all for that. And only certain people get to vote in the Shannon, and we supposedly live in a democracy. And it being the upper house, upper echelons of cunts. That's what I say. Anyway, so I'm sorry to say cunt. But
no, look.
we need to... Should the old acquaintance be forgot?
And never brought to mind.
I actually
important.
blacked out a bit there. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, okay, look.
I have a David Norris thing.
Speaking of
Are
David,
we back there?
You can do David.
You the David Norris
Killian,
thing.
you are a host of this podcast.
Yeah.
I think that's funny they call us host. It's not. We're just guys who talk. Go on.
Yes.
Over to
no,
Killian.
I just thought it was really good when he obviously famously was the front runner for president the year that Miggledy Higgins got elected. And thank God, I guess, one of the great presidents.
One of the great straight presidents.
But he was front runner, he was doing very well, and then loads of stuff came out about, comments he made about pederast or something like that.
Clemency for...
Clemency
Yes, next, move on.
And then he came back, and then he was kind of went out of the race, but then he came back in, and the way he came back was such a beautiful moment because he's so well read and so like well spoken and stuff like that. He came out, I think he must have been like outside his house, and all the reporters were there, and they're all asking him all these questions, and then he just said that, I think it was that Samuel Beckett bit where he just
like
came
a dying
out,
wasp.
didn't say anything, and he was just like, try again, fail again. Fail better, and then everyone was just like, but then he didn't get in, and then he kind of resigned himself to just being this really like a funny kind of add-on to all the other things that, like, when all these things were happening in this presidential election, maybe your man Sean, the businessman, came in and then he went out. Like, all Norris was doing was just adding funny little asides when things were happening. Like, you know, your man, I can't remember, Sean Gallagher mentioned an envelope and he went, oh, I think he's going to regret mentioning that brown envelope, and kind of look at the camera, and he kind of just resigned himself to being like, let's just add a bit of entertainment into this
That
thing.
was one of my favourite moments of any campaign in Ireland, where the man who's a businessman, Sean Gallagher, was on the Dragons Den in Ireland. That's his public profile, and he was like, want to be the president. It's like, for what? Like, but anyway, he was running, and people were going to vote for him because people vote weird in this country for whatever reason. And he was going to win. And then he said there was something about a donation to the campaign, and we're like, where did that money? And he was like, look, if I don't recall, I mean, if I took an envelope and everybody went,
Oh, you don't say the E word.
you don't say that in Irish political discourse because of the Bertie Hearn and all those guys.
I'd love an envelope.
I love an envelope. I say
love an
envelope. I'm
envelope.
sorry about that. Okay, I get flack for this before. But it was very exciting and juicy. And now we have Michael D. Higgins for the past 14 years, who's done great. And Michael D. Higgins, if you're listening, this is your last year to invite us to a garden party in the Áras.
And who next?
Roisin
Perhaps
Shortall. I
Roisin.
have an in with Roisin Shortall. So.
You have an in? Okay.
Well, what if, for the first
I'm
time in
friends with the family.
history, the Irish public voted in a triumvirate?
You're too young.
I am too young.
Am I?
So
you
we're
have
all,
to be
you're
over-
old enough.
Yeah.
Killian
You
is
have to
too
be
young
over
to run for-
32.
Yeah, the same day we voted for the marriage equality referendum. Oh my God, it's so referenda focused today. Oh my God.
I'm too
The
young to
same
be
day-
president.
You can't do it. You can't be prezi.
Hello.
I wouldn't know how to do it.
I think we should bring all the animals in from Phoenix Park into the Áras and Luke
In a world where a baby is president. Bopty, bopty, bopty.
Come out on a giraffe with a top hat on.
button do?
I have something important.
Whoa.
That when you did that voice, it just reminded me of it.
Oh.
Okay, so what was the voice you did, president?
President.
President of Ireland.
Okay. Now that, of course, goes back to us slagging Killian about being a wanger.
He's a
in
wanger.
photo wildlife. Now, we discussed this at length that Killian he was a wanger.
He's a
and
wanger.
Killian's very proud to be a wanger.
Well, it's one of the points of my life.
All right, I don't know who that guy is.
Another story on this podcast. This was sent in by my friend Manus, a great Irish actor, Manus Halligan. Hello to Manus.
Oh, hello, Manus.
Thank
Great
you,
voice
Manus,
actor
for
as well.
sending this in. Mail ballbag on main because it's important. Now, so that's all Killian's shtick, right? So also we heard on this podcast before when Tony, you were featured in a Codaline music video.
I was.
And famously, when it came to your scene, you mouthed and mimed the words
Mouthed
when they're
and
like,
mimed
no, you
the
have
words.
to sing it and we'll just cut your...
Yeah, I didn't realize that. And then I didn't know how to speak.
Manus Halligan has sent in a screen grab from the music video.
We were in it together, yes.
And here it is. Now, so if you're not listening to the audio, maybe start getting onto the YouTube because they're about to have a great time. If we just zoom in on Tony in the shot of the music video, what is he wearing?
Photo wildlife hat.
A safari style hat. Tony Cantwell, the original Wanger.
The original Wanger!
Killian, how do you feel?
Well, I do know that they tightened up their acceptances and stuff in their application process, and they definitely, they let in any ragtag kind of person back then. But obviously, in recent years,
See, I'm kind of quite humble with my history of being a wanger. I don't like to bring it up a lot.
Manus has also shown Tony crying
I cry.
as a ranger.
You're crying.
He's taken off his spectacles to cry.
Yeah. Well, listen, it can be tough out there on the wildlife park.
I just love the animals so
obviously,
much.
The animals are roaming, and those more weak. I mean, I still have my. Do you still have your ranger gear?
I have my Wanger gear, but I don't wear it around because...
You never brought this up.
Well, I just, I wanted just to...
This is your brown envelope moment.
It is... You said envelope there.
I don't know.
Oh, you're trying to speak to my language.
yeah, idiots like you say envelope.
Yeah, we do. No, I never brought it up. I wanted Killian to have his little day in the sun, but yes, no, I am the original Wanger, and I do have my
You're
gear.
not the original Wanger.
And I don't
Original
wear.
Wanger.
Why
You're
would I
not the
wear
original
a prop
Wanger.
for a production that And I was
Did you meet the monkey? Did you meet the Langer monkeys?
this voice is sounding problematic now.
Did you meet the Langer monkeys?
No, but I did chase after a cheetah.
Did you shovel the bison?
What
You
about a
chased
wingtail
after-
weema?
You didn't
wingtail
chase
weema,
after
I
a
didn't
cheetah.
see.
You didn't chase after a cheetah. They would have killed you. They travel in packs. They hunt as packs.
Well, funny thing about that music video is I was still working in a job in sales, and I just didn't answer my phone for like 4 days when we were recording
the
it.
video.
That was also the same time when I was called greedy for eating double portions.
Stop!
Yeah.
Wow!
So me and Manus
Wow.
would have been there, and then I had double portions.
And you had to cry. What were you crying about in the video? The music video, what's the song?
It's Ready to Change. Codaline.
Codaline, Ready to Change.
Yeah.
The official video
You can
is
watch
on
it there.
a platform of
Let's hear a little bit
YouTube.
of it. Let's hear an ad
Oh,
first.
do you want to hear a little
It
bit of it?
has loads of million views, as Codaline do.
10 million views. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep. Directed by the great Stevie Russell. Yeah.
You're not even trying. Okay,
So,
very good.
well, they gave me this kind of like stuff to put in my eyes so that I would cry.
That's what I was going to bring up, the menthol
yeah,
stick.
I couldn't.
Yes.
couldn't do it.
I couldn't. And you could.
Try right now, Killian.
Well, actually, I'm feeling very close to it after finding out Tony was a Ranger, so
Fair,
I'm actually not going to do it because I think once I start, I'm probably not going to stop. But yeah, no, you talk about your thing.
No,
and
they
I'll
put
see what I
vapor
can
rub
come up
under
with.
my eyes and I started crying. And weirdly, as soon as you start crying, even though fake, I started like really crying and I was getting really sad.
Wow.
But the part of it was when
Is there a
Manus,
name for that kind of,
the Manus goes off, he meets the love interest in the music video, and I'm seeing them playing in the forest, and I cry. And I cry. And yeah, no, I did get quite emotional about it. But I was also probably emotional because I was about to get sacked from my job, which was actually the best thing that ever happened to me, as you know. Then I got paid like a redundancy and loads of stock options, even though I tried to leave like a few months before. So it was really handy for
You
me.
know the way I'm self-employed?
Yes.
Can I make myself redundant and get a package of some kind? Does that work?
You ask an
How
excellent
does that
question.
work?
Any kind of loophole financiers out there, maybe you want to let us know.
Like it's now the first week, so I've made €0 this year. What if I make myself redundant now? Will I get like? I mean, it must be what 70 grand. I'll get.
It would be your money. So, what money do you have? Because you have to. Because you're you.
I'll
You
just
would-
just won't do any work, but I'll just have the money I have now. Is that it?
That would kind of be it.
Set up a
I need
business,
more money than that.
Make Raymond a partner. Make yourself redundant.
Raymond is my partner.
Okay, sorry.
But a partner in the business.
No, I won't get into bed with my business partner.
But you'll get into
There's
partner
still
with
a
your best.
partnership.
I won't get into bed with Raymond either.
Still a partnership, business partner, and then obviously the marriage. So I think you should get him as a business partner, and then he'd have to pay you out of his pocket.
You know, there is a thing of, some comedians become very famous and make a lot of money.
I'm familiar with them.
You know, Raymond somehow, I know, he does a joke of like, every time something positive happens for me career-wise, he's like, hurry, when can I quit my job? That boy does think, there is a part of him that thinks that is real, that I will become like Michael McIntyre and he will be able to quit his job.
What a beautiful vision he has.
Cashed a hain. Why would I support us both in
Why would
any
you-
case?
Why would you keep him?
Why would I bother?
you'd have your pick
I'll
of the litter of
go
young
pick up
fellas.
some hot chick.
Yeah.
Some hot
You'll need a
peeps.
beard when you're that famous.
Yeah, no, I'll have to. I'll get a bird, man. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fuck around. I was on the Ireland AM. I was being a pop culture, talking about the pop culture moments of the year. And
Yes.
Cassie Delaney was doing it. She kind of was the main part. I was just there to chip in little quips.
Bit of
And
a
I
David
didn't-
Norris type
David
role.
Norris.
David Norris type
Yeah.
role. I see myself very much as David Norris of Ireland AM. In that he's a Joycean scholar, world renowned,
He's
whereas
been
I will happily chip in a joke about Sabrina Carpenter.
He's been called the pop culture David Norris, joining us here on the couch today.
Well, I won't be pleading clemency for any paedophiles, that's for sure. That's for sure, Muireann.
Can't say that.
Can't say
Please
that.
don't say that.
Please stop saying that.
On headed paper. Nah, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and I didn't know. They were like, showed the music video with Barry Keoghan in it. And I was like, I told them out straight. I was like, I did not know he was in that music video.
fuck,
I
I
did
knew
not
that.
even know that.
I knew
Wow.
Do you know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
Are the young people looking at the music videos?
They would be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the YouTube.
What are some iconic videos you remember from your youth, right? I'll tell you some of mine. Jamiroquai,
Of course.
Yes.
Virtual Insanity,
Yes.
Natalie and Brulia standing in the
Lying
room.
naked on the floor?
Yeah,
Lying naked on the floor.
Torn,
Yeah, but I always remember
Remember her lying naked on the floor.
the sleeves over her hands.
Very small.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
small. And the
She found
sleeves
a
are over her
jumper,
hands. Maybe
poor
she was
thing.
still wearing her boyfriend's jumper or something.
Despite them breaking
Despite
up
them
in
breaking
some
up,
way.
and she would hold the sleeves. And I remember that being a huge moment for me.
Yeah,
Yes.
sexually.
Sexually, yeah.
Okay, and she said naked as well. And you were like, I want to see her naked and boobs.
that?
It's going to sound weird. I mean, it's not in the iconic, it's not up there with like Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Scream.
I was
going
gonna
to
say that as well, yes,
Well, that
yes.
was always on the list of the most expensive videos.
Video.
That's because they told us it was. They were
Yeah.
like,
They kept telling
we all
you.
fell
We
victims of
spent a
PR
lot
as
of money
kids.
on
They're
this.
like, this video cost whatever $50 billion. We're all like, oh, it's going to be amazing. And then we watched it as kids and like, don't know what that.
They keep going up real close to the camera and kind of going up to like that. Oh, that was terrible.
I don't know where all the money
No,
went.
Tony, you had one that wasn't
Well, I think I heralded.
unconventional choice from Tony, maybe. Tony,
Well,
you have a video pick that's not maybe on the top list of everyone's top
They call
list.
him the Sean Gallagher of music video
They call me
picks.
Sean Gallagher, a bit of a black sheep, bit of a dark horse. No, the swan song of music video movie tie-ins, I think, is Hero. It's from Spider-Man with Chad Kroger. Not an iconic video, but the last one, the last from Spider-Man.
They say that a hero can save
Wait, what's
us.
that got to do with Spider-Man?
It was
the song for Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. And it was the last big, this is the movie's coming out in the summer and this is the song for the movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember. a
You
bigger
two had
after
one for
that.
Batman.
Okay.
It did Hold Me, Thrill
Do you
Me, Kiss
mean
Me,
like,
Heal Me, and Seal, of course.
Aerosmith had one for Armageddon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
that kind of
the
thing.
last one I think is
That
Chad Kroger.
yeah, those kind of music videos were good. I
don't
remember
happen anymore.
Armageddon, and you see Liv Tyler like looking at the screen, seeing her dad dying, and then you just hear Steven Tyler just going "Wah!" like that. I can't remember the song, so
The weirdest thing he did was put his daughter in with Alicia Silverstone, and they were like scoring a hole off each other, like putting his daughter under the male gaze for 2 videos. Liv
Did you
Tyler
do
was in 2 Aerosmith videos, looking super hot. But I can say that 'cause she's old now.
I auditioned for a TV role opposite
say auditioned
Alicia
for Armageddon.
Silverstone.
I did for Armageddon for the Ben
Opposite
Affleck
Alicia
role.
Silverstone, and I didn't get it because a friend of ours, John Doran, he got it. Because every time I do auditions where they go, yeah, you're still in the running, you know who gets it? John Doran. Each time.
Wow.
Each time.
Well, you're
All of his
very
work.
Similar.
If you ever see John Doran on television, just go, that was nearly a Shane.
Oh wow.
Now, not every time. John's a much better actor than me, and he's a real actor.
fantastic actor.
Other video for me, Daft Punk, Around the World.
Oh yeah, they're all walking around.
was that
in
one?
a circle.
That's where they walk around in a
ding,
circle, and
ding,
some of them
ding,
are
ding,
skeletons.
Oh, I tell you what, that was okay. Didn't do much for me.
Whoa.
One of my all-time favorite ones is "Praise You."
Oh, yeah.
That's good. When they I don't know, some random dance troupe, and they go
Well, Spike Jones actually
Outside a
who's
cinema.
the dancer.
Spike
Director
Jones?
Spike Jones, who directed it, is the
it's
dancer.
brilliant, and they
He's the
outside
dancer?
cinema.
He's a white
dancing.
guy.
I know he's white.
Spike Jones white? Who am I thinking of? Spike Lee?
You're just thinking
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
Ah, okay.
Different Spike. But I think it's like a movie theater it feels like California, Los Angeles, maybe something like that. And then they bring a hi-fi out and they start doing dances, and it's really kind of obscure, funny dances, and they look like a lot of fun. And they're very into it, and they're very serious about it. And it's a
And it looks
brilliant.
super gonzo.
And
Yeah.
they say, praise you like I should.
Like a shoe.
Like that.
He did good ones.
Weapon of
didn't he?
Choice
Weapon
with-
of Choice.
yeah, with
very
Christopher
good.
Walken
and then
dancing
it
around.
changed it because you had the
Oh, that Christopher Walken, that was good, yeah.
Brilliant.
changed because it had the internet changed music videos a little bit. Those OK Go guys came along.
Yeah, they
OK
seem to
Go.
come along.
They did a famous one where they were famously better at music videos than music.
Yes,
And
they were.
people would look. People would go, their music video, and they're like, "What's the song?" And you'd be like, "I don't have a clue.
Don't
It's
have a
generic
clue. They did
rock."
one in space recently, an anti-gravity
They're
one.
still doing it.
They,
In a what?
In anti-gravity. In one of those vomit comets. They did technically kind of space.
A vomit comet.
called.
No, they did famously. They did the ones on the
Treadmills.
treadmills. Do you remember
Yeah.
that one? Do you know what I'm talking about?
They do one shots. That's the whole thing. It's all in one shot. They do it multiple times and they try and get it all in
Yeah.
one shot. They also had a very good, what's it called? Those machines. that,
Yeah, it's like Domino's, but
Domino's.
there's a name for it, a perturbian machine or it's a man's name machine. The thing that where you just, like Wallace and Gromit style, people are screaming this at home, watching their TV sets at home. It's different when you're under the lights here in the
Oh
studio.
God! Sorry about that. Sorry about this.
I'm having a blank.
Next question. Next question.
Blank now.
Pass.
Newman
Pass.
machine
Newman,
or
Neumann.
Noyex Newman's
Yes,
kitchen floor
kitchen
decks.
floor decks and doors.
Welcome down to Bargain Town, where the
If
prices
anyone-
are only
if everyone
famous.
just stops talking, I'll think of it. Leave.
It's very.
I'm thinking Lee Strasberg, but it's not Lee Strasberg, the creator of the method acting.
Lee Strasberg technique.
Lee Strasberg technique.
Are you still going on this?
Wait, I think he wants us to sit silently until he remembers the name of the machine.
No, it's not Rolf Harris. Who? David Norris, probably.
No.
I was cycling here this morning. As you guys know, it's very, very cold.
I put my hand up. I was going to cycle, but it was very icy outside,
So
and I was
cold.
scared. So I actually didn't cycle. I was scared.
and I only had one glove.
One glove
cycling around.
for the mother's back. One glove for the times we cry. One glove, gotta stay alive. Oh,
One glove
I will
is on
survive.
five.
What we need. I was going to say one glove.
No, I was cycling around. I was kind of like, I'm like Michael Jackson, but on a bike.
Did you feel like Michael Jackson?
In my head, I was like, cycling around, I kept going, Peter on a bike. I was thinking about, you know, the way, like, usually they get, like, it's a white van that drives up and the kids get in the white van. I'm like pulling up, trying to give them a backer, going, hop on!
Oh my God.
I saw a funny thing online of Janet Jackson posing with someone dressed up as Michael Jackson, late stage Michael Jackson, and he looks really, really like him. And someone was like, "What did these people have to go through?" Janet Jackson was like, "Oh, I'll take a picture with you. Of course, you're dressed as my dead brother." I was like, "You look just like my dead brother. Okay, I'll get in a photo with you." God love her. Janet Jackson had a baby very late.
Oh, she did.
She did. Fair play to her.
On Michael Jackson, my favorite reel that I saw all year was there was a Michael Jackson impersonator walking through the Vegas Strip, and he's walking around like he is Michael Jackson, and he stops to see a guy who is dressed as Michael Jackson dancing, and he stands there looking at him like, yeah, and then the comment is all like, "Motherfucker, think he Jackson." And it's just like this guy's walking around thinking he is Michael Jackson, being like, "Yeah, you go for it," to other Michael Jackson impersonators, and it was my favorite thing I saw
So
all year.
funny.
I was thinking because I saw
arrogance.
Wicked, that Ariana Grande is an alien, and I mean that in the highest compliment. On a par with, like, I think Michael Jackson was an alien. I actually think Norm Macdonald was an alien. Do you know people who just are not of this world but are just supremely talented?
Robin Williams?
Robin Williams was an alien. I mean, more empathy, I think, than most those aliens have.
E.T.
I get
E.T.
you. Okay,
probably.
okay.
E.T.
I don't know.
not quite
Mac
What's
of
Mac?
Me,
Oh,
of Mac and Me fame.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah. We watched that over Christmas.
Did you?
Yeah, well, I had Terry watch it. We were a bit drunk.
What about
And I was-
Flight of the Navigator? I like that one.
I like that one as well. Yeah.
I kind of get what you're talking about with Ariana Grande being an alien.
I absolutely adore her. You remember the other day I was saying
I was won over
sometimes I'm
completely.
embarrassed
embarrassed about saying I fancy a man because I have some kind of, I don't know why, it makes me vulnerable or something.
Yes.
I love Ariana Grande. I stand her. I don't care about any of the awful things she's done. I don't care. I love her.
It's funny because
when
she's
she
like,
comes
I
out
don't
in
know
that
any
film,
awful things she's done.
we hadn't seen Wicked last time we talked Wicked. We've now seen it.
We've seen it now.
We're now
Okay,
authorities
yeah.
as well, like you.
All right, okay.
When she comes out and when there she comes down the thing, and then when she does the first one, I'm like, shut it down. Shut it down.
She's so funny in it.
She's
It's
very
brilliant.
funny.
I've never seen a performance like it. Give her the. Well, she's going to win Golden Globe, of course.
Stoically funny as well.
Stoically funny.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
Popular. Oh my God, what an out of this world
I don't
performance.
enjoy people saying, like, give her the Oscar because, and it's so strange the way, like, all this
I say
Oscar
Golden
stuff
Globe,
is
but
all
go on.
about. Yes, no, but people are kind of talking about her an Oscar, which I think is kind
She should
of
get the Oscar.
ludicrous. That's insane, especially considering, like, Saoirse
I'd like to see
Ronan
her go
did
against
the
Isabella
Outrun.
Rossellini. That would be good to have them in the same category. I would think that would be
Isabella
a fun.
Rossellini
Oh,
in
yeah.
an
Conclave.
Oscar.
She might.
She doesn't deserve it for Conclave at
She
all.
might. Anyway, my dad thinks so. He said
The Outrun,
Isabella Rossellini
Saoirse
God
Ronan,
Oscar, which
one
I
of the
assume
great
means
performances
Oscar.
from the greatest actor of her generation.
Isabella
Okay, but
Rossellini at a hotel. Could
Let's
get me
stay
to
on
do anything.
Ariana Grande.
As
I love
she is
her.
now, even
I
though
love
there's
her.
an
This is a month ago conversation.
People don't
People are
mind.
still talking about it.
Whenever I talk about stuff that was from a month ago, people go, you guys say, oh, that was a month ago. But now that it's your thing.
But it's now been released on the
that's
dodgy
when it's
box.
your thing.
You
no,
can buy it.
Yeah.
You can buy it or
No.
rent it on your TV at home.
I tried
This
to
week. So
talk
that's why
about
we're-
the elections the week after the elections, and I tried to use my stand-up. You guys were like, don't do that. People are talking. Look to the western sky.
I know that Cynthia, how do you say her name?
Arivo, also an
Erivo
alien.
She's brilliant.
she's an alien, supremely, divinely talented. But actually, she's so good that it's almost like I can't see her.
Yeah.
She's so good that it's so divine. Whereas Ariana Grande, I can see her
Look at her,
working.
look at her,
And I'm like,
look
she's
at her.
working up there. I love it. I just love her. I love
see
all the things she's ever done. I love her. I love the time she did that music video where she fingered the earth. I love that. I love that it was like
Keown's not
that
fucking
album
giving it the
came out
shag.
when me and my friend Sean had to leave our house we lived in, and we were sad about it. But we listened to Ariana Grande one more time. Not the one last time song.
I'm really
Ariana
happy
Grande.
for you because I think that I remember we were talking about that thing where it's like gay men pick a female pop star and like dedicate their life to that person or whatever.
I'm not doing that.
But it feels like you found your kind of
No,
one.
I always have liked her, but I'm not doing that thing.
Okay.
That there was this guy I used to know years ago, and he was a stan of Brandy, as in Moesha.
The murderer.
She had killed someone with her car, yes. Such is the tradition in Hollywood to kill people with your car.
I don't know this person. Who is this?
See, you don't even know Moesha. You know Moesha?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Brandy.
so Brandy, she had Brandy and Monica, the boy is mine. I'm sorry that you seem to be confused.
Do you know what, Killian? You've already known so many music videos from the 90s here that you got to pass on this one.
Nice.
Yeah, no, Brandy versus Monica, that was very important. And they
Okay.
really hate each other in real life. And one
Okay.
time they did MTV Awards and Monica hit Brandy just before.
Wow.
But anyway, Moesha, and he was
Yeah, I'll
a,
see
he
on
was
the
a
road.
stan of her. And I was like, I'm not doing, that's an obscure, that's a
one.
weird one for a boy in
Sometimes
Ireland to be
people
like,
pick
love.
someone because they want to have their own one, you know?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is, but sometimes they just love a certain person. I find it really cool. I wish I could kind of, I guess I do that with
Phil Lynott.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
have that.
You
Yeah.
stan him.
I stan him.
He's your diva.
Yeah, he's my diva.
Terry pointed out when we were watching it, like that a lot of movies are shot, with the male gaze, but
Sure.
like this is a movie that was shot exclusively with the gay gaze. Like it is just like, for the prince to have like the tightest trousers I've ever seen and the frosted tips, like it's shot from like, and like I feel like the beauty of women is shot with the gay gaze as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not overly straight, heterosexualized in any kind of way. I haven't seen the original musical, so I don't know how it compares.
A lot of gays are annoying me at the moment.
Oh, that's the one with Adele Mazin.
Adele Dazeem. You messed up the messed up name.
The wickedly talented.
The wickedly talented. Do you know? I was
She was
thinking.
great in it
I
as
feel
well.
bad for her. For what's her name in real
Adele
life?
Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem. I feel bad for Adele Dazeem. She's
Menzel.
wickedly talented. Idina Menzel, because she's like she was Elphaba forever, and now it's like. I don't think so. When you hear her back, it's like, that sounds disgusting.
I don't know
By
about
comparison
that now.
to Cynthia.
I will say I've listened to performances of both, and I think that what the two women in the film do is film almost music recording level of singing.
Yes.
Whereas when you watch
As Louis Walsh would say on X Factor, it's a recording vocal.
it's a recording vocal, and I think
Oh,
it's
very
good,
good.
but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
recording
you would.
vocal. I think that when you watch the two women who do the stage show, it's like they are obviously more powerful singers in terms of projection.
Have
and
you
in
ever seen
terms of-
Cynthia on stage?
I haven't seen her on stage, but I think that you can see that those two women
Hey.
are.
Here's something you can look up. The day Prince died, she
Homework.
was in The Color Purple with Jennifer Hudson, J Hud, and they
From
sing.
Cats?
They sing, yeah, J Hud from Cats.
Okay.
With the snot?
I have a long running joke. She was in the Sex and the City film and Dreamgirls in the same year, and she won the Oscar for Dreamgirls. And I have a long standing joke that I insist that she won the Oscar for Sex and the City too, or whatever it was. Anyway, not true, but I'm going to go with it. But if you watch, they do a tribute to Prince. Obviously, they sing Purple Rain. J Hud reads off cards, which
Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson.
J Hud, I'll allow, but you need to watch Cynthia sing there.
Well, I'm just saying you can see that they're kind of singing it. The idea that they're good. Like I think Ariana Grande is an incredible singer, but I do not think she could do on stage. In
8 shows a week.
Sorry.
8 shows a week.
8 shows. I don't think she could do that. I don't think she could project in that way. I just think that they're different types of
out of your mind.
voices. I really like. I've seen Ariana Grande in the studio layering her vocals and doing a take and then harmonizing.
When
with
you
the
were working on her
This is
album
it.
that
when
time.
when I was working on her
I've
album.
seen her in the studio. I've been with that girl
been
in there.
with you.
She's a talent, layering her vocals.
AG, can you just give me one where it's a higher minor on the A? You know when you're going, love this one? Can you go higher and go, love this one?
Donnie,
like that. Cheers.
what did you want to talk about, Wicked? You brought it up and we've really just gone hell for leather on it. Was there
No,
anything you wanted?
this is exactly
This is all you wanted.
everything I've always dreamed.
This is all you wanted.
Yeah.
Well, no, just, like as someone who knows AG and just like produces her shit, I think that she can do it in the studio, but can she do her talking 8 times a week? On
You've
the
made
stage?
your point.
Yeah.
You hate
I
Ariana
like
Grande.
Idina
You've made
Menzel.
your point.
No,
vocal.
I like her. I do think she's probably a sociopath, but I think she's good.
Who,
really good
AG?
performer. AG, yeah, I know her.
Is she a sociopath or is she just an alien, guys?
Alien.
Come on, can
Yeah,
we
I
just
think so.
point out?
Oh, sorry,
just
she's
some-
an alien. That's what it was. She's an alien.
She's an alien. She is an alien. Michael Jackson was an alien. Marhampla. I think
Ridley Scott directed Alien.
Ridley Scott directed Alien.
Marhampla.
Marhampla. Paul Mescal. No, I think James Cameron's an alien. No, I'm not going to list off all the aliens.
James Cameron.
He is an alien.
God.
I did see a video of someone God,
Director of the
I only
Avatar
remember their
films.
name. But really funny.
2025 Avatar 3.
Is
Let's
it?
fucking go.
Someone saying
Let's go.
how we do not take enough time to discuss how mental a person James Cameron is. Like how crazy it is that this man exists, where he makes regularly like the most highest grossing films of all time.
And they bet against him
Like,
every single time.
Every time they bet against him, every time he does it, it's insane. He's an incredible, probably all-timer in terms of movie making, maybe the great director. At the same time, he also has done so much work going to the deepest depths of the ocean and has gone as low as it's humanly possible to go in a tiny little space capsule, has visited the Titanic several times, has like whole ships, and his whole movie thing is to fund this other aspect, which is equally like insane.
He
and
spent
crazy.
more time on the Titanic than the people who were than anyone who actually was standing on the Titanic. He spent more time down there than the Titanic was on water.
People are very courageous, I think, to have a little special interest like that. Anyone who has a little special interest, I'm like, loser. You know, Ryan Tuberty's really interested in the Kennedys. I'm like, what a loser. Why are you so interested in that? Let that go.
Never gonna fuck you, bro.
What? Yeah, the Kennedys aren't going to fuck you. And
bro.
look at the current one we have. Woohoo, cuckoo. Like, I just think that's so lame.
Yeah.
Have you gone down any weird kind of like in your own time YouTube algorithms? Are you in any weird did you pick up any new weird hobbies over the
I
last
don't
couple of
watch
weeks?
the YouTube because I'm not paying €17 a month to watch YouTube. So I don't really engage with it.
Well, is there any weird new algorithm thing that's popped up on your, For You feed or your searches?
Some nice pressure washing lately. Been
That's
enjoying
good.
that.
That's good. Your dad has one, obviously.
Got
You
I
can
make bread
borrow.
and butter pudding.
Yeah.
I was looking at it's like an old, but that's just what came
Is
up.
it what, a new hobby in your algorithm?
TikTok.
I'm gonna make a bread and butter pudding.
No, it came
not exactly the
I'm
same.
like Michael Jackson, but on a bike. I'm loving this new Killian.
I'm like Michael
soundbite.
Jackson, but on a bike.
I'm a Peter on a bike.
Anna's been away for 4 weeks now, a month.
Wow.
The man starved a bit of action.
You know when the bird's away, you just whip out that stale bread and fucking
out
get
what?
4
Sorry,
eggs.
son.
And you just fucking you stick it in the oven, and I think it's a long bake. But
Anna makes you wear 2 gloves.
you know,
when I'm
and
on
they
the bike.
say that you don't put the raisins in anymore. You put chocolate chips in, and it's a much tastier dessert.
Would you do a baking video for the internet, Killian?
No, because
Sundermann.
that's as I've said, it's my kind of relaxation,
That's your
meditation,
private
time where I kind of
Do
do
you
Somebody-
watch that guy who almost fucks stuff when he bakes it? Sorry for speaking over you.
No,
there.
please.
But you know the guy who like he'll like
Aussie guy.
No, he's like this kind of jacked looks, some kind of Italian, and he'll like just throw the dough down and he'll like pull it like this,
Oh,
and, like
yeah,
he'll
yeah.
slap it
I
like
know
it's an
him,
arse.
yeah.
Oh, the Italian guy?
Yeah, and he'll like frigs things.
Yeah.
He'll frig like
I think
jam.
He's right to do that.
But he's not gay. He's like a straight man being like so like.
playing to the gay gays.
I think he's playing to the gay gays.
The gays are obsessed this moment queer baiting because there's all these guys, straight guys who do OnlyFans, and they're like, oh, I really pushed my boundaries this time, and it's just that they had a wank beside their friend.
Yeah, there's an
And
Irish
I'm
guy.
like, why are you
There's an
so
Irish guy who does
obsessed
that.
with this queer? I was like, why are you so bothered? They're like, queer baiting has to. I'm like, why are you worried about that? Leave them off, dude. That's just straight men wanking together. Who
I think
cares?
in next series of
Who
Good Boy, you
cares?
should play it to the gay gays.
I should do.
Yeah. What were you going to
is-
say?
I was going to say, you know, like Alan Sugar and The Apprentice being like, the gay market, the gay OnlyFans market is worth 40 billion a year. I want you straight folk to make
queer bait.
I've watched
It's a
so
queer
much Only
bait.
Fools and Horses at the moment. I think it's just one of the greatest shows. But I could just see this as a Del Boy plot where he's just like, Rodney.
lot of money, Rogers.
Then he's like,
Here,
he gets
come
Rodney
nosh
to
me
do
off.
OnlyFans. Rodney.
I'm
OnlyFans.
bringing fucking Uncle Albert. He's fucking
Uncle
jacked.
Albert, yeah.
He's fucking jacked. You ever seen when he's in the vest?
He
He's
finds
so
out about
fucking-
beards.
Daddies.
Bears,
Daddies. There's a creep in of American gays into Irishness. And
Insidious.
I'm like, it's insidious. I saw a video of somebody
Ireland's full.
singing.
Of open-minded,
Kind-hearted
people.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
We voted.
What was I going to say? There's some video of someone singing, like a professional Jade from Little Mix was on the Hootenanny.
Which
right?
one's Jade?
Jade is
That one.
not Belecta. She, God love her, she made a show of herself and
After
ended her
Belegda?
own career after Belecta. Well, Belecta was the high point of her career, God love her.
Well, she, poor thing, got her cut out of it. Like, they had a little in joke that they would say, like, oh, when they mess up a line, they'd be like, oh, blah, 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 or blah, like that. You know, so she was about to do a Rastafarian accent, which also, putting that on someone to do, very problematic, although I don't know what kind of race she is because of all the tan. But maybe she's allowed.
That's one of the things they criticised her for. And they criticised Ariana for that too, but as you know, she can do no wrong. So
She's an alien.
sorry to all
anyway,
people.
Jade
She took it
also-
too far.
Jade,
I
oh yeah,
think-
Jade was on the
singing.
Hootenanny.
Jade was on the Hootenanny, and there was a video of her on the Hootenanny singing. She's singing "Hot Stuff."
Oh, yeah.
and yeah, that one. She's on the piano with Jules, and someone's like, some gay commenter going, "I'm sorry, where did these vocals come from?" I was like, "What are you talking about?
professional
She's
singer.
a professional
Professional
singer. Why would she not have vocals? What are you talking about? Why does everyone want to be experts on everything? Sorry, honey, the what are they called? The runs, honey. I'm like, shut up. What do you know? They all think because they're gay, they're like professional music critics or something. There's another one of them that bothers me.
You're so homophobic.
I am.
No.
No, Killian, it's important.
Shane wants to bring back the closet, I think. 2025. They should have to endure a bit more. No, you're right, Shane. They're coming out loud and proud and very opinionated. And they need to be put back in the fucking
Where's
place.
the misery of these new guys? No misery.
Turns out a bit of shame. A bit of shame.
Bit of shame.
The other
Bit
one
of
is
name and
when
shame.
people talk about television, the reality TV, they're like, obviously the producers are. I'm like, who's the producers? What are the producers? You know what the producers doing? Looking at budgets and getting people looking after each step. They're not like in the the producers. What do they mean? Production needs to step their production. What are you talking about?
There's a thing
Everyone
with,
stop talking about things they don't know
I
about.
don't think so.
Football fandom where it's like people.
Thanks for joining in because I actually was exhausted by my own self. Killian. I actually was exhausted talking there.
No,
and
but
I was
it's
like,
on
I'm
that
really
line.
done.
It's like this kind of thing where people, when they're fans of things, talk about things.
Yes.
Where it's like not even anything to do with them, really. Like you can criticize the piece or whatever, but like people in football, and my friend Michael's always going on about it, but like going on about the money that the club has spent on these players is like this really funny thing that people are like, we spent 50 million. Maybe if we spend 30 million and we sell this player and we get more million. He's like, it's not your money. Why do you care? And it's like people get like Arsenal. Oh, I can't believe we spent €70 on Kai Havertz. It's like, no, you didn't.
That'd be very cheap.
You didn't do it.
€70
Yes,
for a song.
70 million, 75 million.
Look
I
at
think
him
it
for a
was.
song.
But it's like that's not your money. Why do you care?
Good expression. Phrase of the week. Bought it for a song.
What was it? Bought it for a
Got it for a song.
For a song.
50 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. No, but it's like that's not your money. Why do you care? It's also nothing to do with you. It's kind of like that area. It feels very cringy
Ariana
to kind of.
To
You
be
know,
worried
we are
about
the
the-
club. We are the musical. We are involved in this.
I think to be worried about the finances of the club when football is a game that can be played with a little Coke can in a school corridor. It's the same game. I'm like, to
Some of the
go
best
so far
players.
away from that.
Back in my day, you're looking to have the Coke can.
Whatever it would be.
You're looking to have the Coke can.
Whatever it would be.
I'll tell you what we did play with. Just as like kind of this feels like Angela's ashes. We had a foam ball that had been ripped to shreds so much. It was like literally less than a regular sponge that you clean your sink with. And then one of the nuns, to try and make it more ball shaped, got her tights and sort of packed. This is true. Packed the sponge into the tights and sort of like twisted it so that it resembled more a ball, and then sort of tied it off and chopped it off. And we played with that.
Is this the same nun who showed you your underwear?
There's something
Different
weird about
nun.
your nuns.
Different nun. But yeah, I don't know. They would seem to really enjoy showing their knickers to us. I don't know.
Question. Do nuns
Question.
wear tights?
Yeah.
Tights? Nuns?
All-
Was she plain clothes nun?
All nuns wear
clothes
tights, but not all women who wear tights are nuns. Was she plain clothes nun?
Driving around the car like with the siren, just a normal car.
We had a plain clothes nun. We had a plain clothes nun who
Say your
drove-
prayers,
He
bitch.
played basketball and played guitar and drove a moped. So
Oh
A nun with a
wow!
moped.
Yeah.
Do you know, when I was a child, Killian, you probably don't remember this. Maybe, Tony, you do. A lot of older ladies used to have mopeds.
Not on the north side.
Do you remember that?
Not on the
Am
north
I
side.
mad? Maybe one
Women
time
weren't
I
allowed
just
driving the north
saw a
side.
woman, an old lady with a moped. I feel in my childhood, in the early 90s, probably that my memory would start. The 80s, I was too small. But I feel like old ladies had mopeds more often. And they had the purpley hair, the
we
blue
had
rims.
only one glove on.
Only one glove on.
One glove, like Michael Jackson on a bike.
Michael Jackson.
It's
you
a way
see
to
my son?
symbolize. It's kind of pedo culture to symbolize that you're a Michael Jackson fan. It's to wear the one glove.
One glove.
One glove. No, I think. Are you thinking maybe of a Reese Witherspoon movie? Perhaps that seems like a kind of a. She going around.
Reese
the moped.
Witherspoon, the greed bunger.
She was actually stabbed.
Was she?
Yeah.
Really?
Reese.
With a knife?
With her spoon. Damn it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, bled out.
She's going to get stabbed one day and it won't be funny.
Yeah, you'll all be laughing the other side of your face then when
Yeah.
she's dead in a pool of her own blood.
Yes.
And will people
Yeah.
celebrate the killer like we do Luigi Mangione, being like he finally fulfilled the joke? Yes, stick it to the rich. We were all waiting for that joke to happen, and finally.
And all that will be there to comfort her children in years to come is the money that she swindled out of all the authors that she makes films of. Wow.
I think she also might be propping up the book industry. Do you know what I mean? I think you blame a lot of this stuff on the Oprah Book Club and Richard and Judy, not nearly as big. But I think the book.
My brother wrote a joke about Richard and Judy. Would you like to hear it?
I'd love to.
He wrote it when he was a child. Did you hear that daytime TV presenters don't get paid that much?
No?
Yeah.
Witherspoon.
Why would you do that to me? Say sorry on record. Say sorry on record. I won't continue until I get an apology. Withdraw those remarks.
I'm sorry.
Withdraw them from the record.
They're withdrawn from the record. Most unparliamentary language.
The most unparliamentary.
Thank you, Ken Coyle. I'm going to take it again. A
Please.
child's joke.
Take it from the top.
Did you hear that daytime TV presenters don't get paid that much?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even I'm Richard and Judy.
Oh, that's good.
It's a good little joke. It's a good little joke. Would have
that's
been good
good.
the first time. Would have been better.
Yeah, but it was good the second time because it was a well-written joke.
Yeah, well, I polished it up a little bit, but you know what I
What
mean.
embryos was fucking Richard sucking on to not age at the same rate?
What's Richard and Judy? What is it?
What's
They were-
Richard
they were-
and
they
Judy?
were-
I thought honestly, when you said that, I was like, and then I realized I was like, no, I'm thinking of Mork and Mindy.
Richard
Oh my
Madeley.
God. Richard and Judy were a married couple who presented, now they both were, they're both in their second marriage. We don't used to be married to other people. Anyway, they
show
presented
business.
this morning in GMTV and all that stuff.
Okay, so that was.
Yeah.
They still do it.
Before vociferous, boy hungry Philip Schofield presented it. Boy hungry, pretty fun phrase. Write that down. Yeah, they did. They were the original.
They did.
Okay.
And Richard didn't age, and Judy just had naturally just aged like as people should.
Did they
you know?
replace the Judy?
Did they
She's
break
not
up?
on telly anymore.
Or did they replace
He's on
the
telly.
Richard?
He's now a
they like the
curmudgeon on
Dubliners?
like he does Good Morning Britain and he says things like trade unions, aren't you all cunts? Like, things like that. Like that's
Oh,
what
I think I
yeah.
kinda
He
know
features
that
a lot
guy.
on Accidental Partridge.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think I know
Yeah,
him.
yeah. He'd be kind of.
But he looks well.
I don't know
I
how he
like
did
that
it.
if they replace them like the Dubliners. There's just a new Richard in it. They don't say anything about it. Like, got a new Richard in, new Judy.
Yeah.
It's like it's just
Do Raglan Road, Richard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mahonta Raglan Road. Yeah.
I feel like the bumbling Hugh Grant type is back. I can't think of an example, but I feel like I think that's a welcome kind of thing. That kind of like bumbling, kind of like beta tough.
Eddie Redmayne does it in his real life, in his interviews.
Yeah. Oh well, he's totally won me over.
They're like,
since
"You're great, you
Cantwell.
have an Oscar," and he's like,
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh,
"I'm like boring Eddie."
yeah, I might be topless in that picture, but I had to fast for like a week. And, he's also
good
an alien.
Redmayne.
That's
Thank
a good
you.
Redmayne.
Thank you very much. He's also an alien.
He's not an alien. Eddie
He is
Redmayne.
an alien. He is
Not
an alien. He's
alien,
very
but
good.
he looks blind.
He looks blind. Killian, it's entered the new year with a new lease of eccentricity.
You are speaking out in like the most perfect tweets. You're like, have you been like just commenting on TikTok a lot because you're coming out with probably fucking zingers of comments?
But he looks blind.
But he looks blind.
He does look. I sometimes think when he's talking, he just doesn't look in the direction that you think he would. And I'm like,
That's because
maybe-
he's too bumbly to make eye contact. I think he apologized for playing a trans woman, and he's like, and he won the Oscar for that, didn't he? Or did he win the Oscar for the other one?
no, he won the Oscar for that, for the Danish woman.
And he was like, "Oh, sorry." I think he's like, "Oh, sorry about that, but give back your Oscar then.
yeah.
Give back your Oscar, Eddie. Let's
Yeah.
see what an ally you are. Give back your Oscar,
Give
Eddie.
your Oscar to Caitlyn Jenner.
Give your Oscar to Caitlyn Jenner,
Oh.
who also killed a person. with
Killed
her
a
car.
person. Well, no, technically
Now,
not.
in Matthew Broderick news, weird, who also killed a
Also
person.
killed
Wait.
someone.
Oh my goodness.
That's 3 celebrities who've killed people with their cars.
And how is the kind of Zoom sex happening between the two of
Tony,
you?
must we started off the private business of a man's relationship with his wife?
I'm just curious.
Well,
Is it
There's-
hard because she maybe wants to do it in the nighttime and it's morning for you, and you're like, I'm not in the mood.
I'm a morning guy.
I actually am a morning guy.
I'm a morning guy as well, and she's in nighttime, so technically that would work. But unfortunately, she's kind of on her friend's couch, so it's not really appropriate. And I've been in on my parents' house,
Ooh,
so it's
naughty.
kind of.
Very taboo. So horny.
And then what's going to happen? Am I going to put my headphones on in my parents' house, and we're going to do it like that? But then,
I'd leave
my
one
mum
ear
could easily
uncupped,
walk in,
just to be sure.
and I can't hear because I've got noise cancelling headphones on.
Unless you make it dangerous. Unless you're like in the middle of it and you're like, Mom! And you try and finish before she comes in.
That was the thing. That,
Oh God.
did you know about that danger wanks?
Yeah, danger wanks, yeah.
Where what is it?
You're upstairs and you're in your room, and then when you're towards the end, you shout, Mom! And you have to
finish
Yeah, you
before.
finish before she gets it.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking for other opportunities.
Sorry, we need to. I don't think this podcast has been straight enough. So I'm trying to just assert, with the greatest respect, I assert a little bit more straightness into this men's
I can't
podcast
wait
for
for-
men.
I take that on board.
All the
Okay.
gays are going to be commenting saying, no. So the producers were basically thinking that Tony and Killian would add more straight into it. And
Why
then
are gays
that would
so
kind
obsessed with
and then
producers?
the producers were thinking, I'd love that, like a load of, I'd love if the lore got deep. They were, so HeadStuff clearly for 2025, they clearly wanted it to be more clamped down on sort of like the gay
the
gays.
queerness element.
They're
of
looking
it.
for the gay gays. And that's kind of what Young Hot Guys is. And they're going to change it to Young Hot Gays.
As a spokesperson of the gays, Shane has established that they're obsessed with producers now.
I was elected at the last quarterly AGM.
And the Shannon.
QGM.
Shannon of gays.
Annual gay meeting.
QGM. A gay meeting.
Just they happen whenever.
Yeah.
You
They
were
have been.
elected. How were you elected?
I can't talk about that on.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Can I ask you, Shane? I was curious.
Our procedures are all private. It's a membership only.
There was a day we were texting over the break, and you had said that it was the first day that you had nothing in the diary.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that day?
Because I had gigs before. You think Christmas the nice break, right? You're like, oh, nice break. But I had gigs right up, then the shopping, this, that, and the other in between. Anyway, and it goes through, and then there's all things you want to do. I want to go to this house. I want to go to this house. I want to go for the. But it was like too many engagements. It was too many engagements. Killian and I went to a celebrity party. We can't talk about it. And
I got the invite.
The day
and I
after
didn't,
that,
I didn't.
you didn't attend. Yeah,
I
you're right.
didn't.
We
No, I
can't
didn't.
talk about it?
I didn't see it.
I was just a little joke.
But can we talk about it?
We went to David O'Doherty's party.
It was one of the great parties I've been to, I have to say.
I
It was good.
saw
quiz.
the message, and it was the next day, and I was like, "Oh, Terry,
Yeah, there was a quiz
bad
at the
news.
party. That was good.
It was very good.
Killian joined the quiz full
There was
with
conflict.
other people we didn't know. Classic Killian. There was a quiz, and it was like getting teams of 4 or whatever. It was casual. It's just a little joke quiz. It was a very good quiz, but jokes. And then me and Martin Angolo, comedian to the stars, Raymond Coyne, partner to me, we were a team. And Killian, we were like, Killian. And then he was like, I'm over here. And he was with people, including David O'Doherty's auntie.
Wow."
Well, I tell you what, I was trying to make an effort not to stay within. I was trying to mix and make the party a better
Mingle.
atmosphere. Mix and mingle, get people going. And
Vim and
I could
vigor.
see that there was sort of 4, I would call us like almost the miscellaneous people. And I was like, what if we corral sort of a miscellaneous group together rather than having loads of different cliques? And that's what I did. And we bonded, and
A
it was great.
raggle-taggle gang.
A raggle-taggle bunch,
Raggle-taggle
of
gypsy.
revolutionaries. We were just trying to change the system and change the quiz. And
Did you win?
we got to the final.
Wow.
We got to the final.
We also got to the final.
We got to the final.
There was a
everyone get to the
playoff.
final?
There was a playoff, and the winner won Singaporean dollars.
Oh,
there you go.
How much?
Don't know.
Don't know. Not much.
We didn't win. The other person won.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it to betray you. I will always remain available for quiz.
What was
teams.
your speciality? What was Martin's? What was Raymond's? Did you have any particular topic that you came alive at?
I got Dolph Lundgren
Very strong.
as an answer.
I was useless. I
were
was
you useless in the quiz?
I was too intellect. I did figure out
There was no.
You were-
Who plays for Chelsea for you?
No, it was actually so
very good.
funny. They were talking about
What
some,
football team do you support, Killian?
Arsenal, and,
FC.
and then FC
The
Cologne,
Gunners.
and then also Borussia Dortmund.
And you don't really follow as much, but Liverpool will be your team.
Liverpool is my team, and I'm supporting them now because they're doing very well.
And also
So-
Shelburne Football Club. But I also
So
like
Liverpool, if you're
those.
listening, keep winning,
Also-
and you'll have my support.
Celtic.
Celtic as well.
And
I
of
do like
course,
Celtic.
And of course, Celtic.
It's actually a good point when you think about
forgotten what I was saying, but it was. Oh yeah. There was a question about that American poet who wrote The Raven. Something with an E.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe. And I remember just
just
trying to
killed
throw
the quiz.
some. They were like, "What Poe poem?" Which is a fun thing to say, actually. What
Poem.
Poe poem was?
Fuck the Pope home.
And then all this kind of stuff. And I just had a bit of knowledge at the back, and I'd given nothing to this team. This team, I was just standing there quietly going, yeah, I think that might be the answer. Yeah, good one. Oh, anyone know that one? That's all I was doing the
That's
whole
very
time.
good.
And then I remember just trying to sound
Moral
intelligent.
support.
And then they were like, what Poe poem? And then I just, from the back, went, I know he translated Baudelaire, so that could be in French.
Oh, shut up.
And they all just turned and looked at me.
Oh, God.
Brother.
Killian.
I went like this. I went, well, I'm aware he translated Baudelaire, so it could be a French title. And I just,
The answer was The Bells.
they all turned and looked at me. And I was like, perhaps a French poem by Baudelaire?
This
Le Fleur de Mal?
This actress and producer was
The producers.
stabbed. Reese.
Richard and Judy?
You're Richard and Judy.
Well, even
Yeah.
I'm Richard and Judy.
So I was no use to that team at all.
I'd like to go to a quiz. We should run a quiz.
We should.
Young hot guy quiz.
I think in the spirit of the firsts of New Year, because it's the first podcast we've recorded of the New Year, I think it has the spirit of well-intentioned change and the willingness to a blossoming of new and a change in the air and and yes and and maybe the clemency for some people. Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
I
I don't know what was going.
I think looking forward to the new year. Let us be glad. Let us be great.
Okay, in fairness,
Tony,
that sounded pretty
you
good.
do a finish up?
Sorry. Can we have a bit of a moment for that? That was actually pretty good.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm inspired by the work of AG, Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande.
her in the studio one
25's
time.
cool number. Should be a good year. It's a cool number.
Slog
the fall.
They're attractive.
They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
Idiot Sundermann!